The first finalist in the 2014 New Business category is Espresso Parts. In 2012, Matt and Melissa Meyer purchased Espresso Parts, a business that specializes in coffee and tea equipment for coffee houses, restaurants, repair companies, and equipment supply stores. Espresso Parts offers top-notch customer service on-site and online. They collaborate with local vendors to develop customized espresso machines, produce glass etching for Fishtail Brewery mugs, and help organize weekly barista competitions. They are in the process of becoming a B Corporation, an enterprise that uses the power of business to solve social and environmental problems. Espresso Parts established Employee Volunteer Day, which is dedicated to assisting others, such as remodeling homes for the disabled. They also sponsor the Olympia Land Trust, proving that something good is always brewing with Espresso Parts. The second finalist is Miss Muffets Mystical Cupcakes. Rachel Young's passion for baking translates itself into inspired creativity and genuine love. She opened her first store in downtown Olympia in 2014 and recently added locations at the Capitol Mall and JBLM. She also had the opportunity to compete on television's Cupcake Wars. Her shops sell 3,500 cupcakes a week, and she is considering expanding into other Puget Sound counties as customer demand increases. Drawing on her grandmother's legacy of compassion and her enthusiasm for baking, Rachel bakes everything from scratch with wholesome natural ingredients, and her family-run business fosters a nurturing and supportive workplace. Miss Muffets donates products to the Union Gospel Mission and women's shelters. In addition to supporting several community events, Rachel is active on the United Way Leadership Council. The third finalist in this category is Top Rung Brewing Company. Co-founders Casey Sobel and Jason Stoltz opened the doors of Top Rung in 2014 with a focus on producing superb craft beers and operating in a socially, environmentally, and ethically responsible manner. As Lacey's only brewery, they currently serve 4 counties and are continuing to grow. Top Rung hosts a tasting room for customers to observe the brewery in operation and enjoy a variety of high-quality beers in a family and dog-friendly atmosphere. Sobel and Stoltz, both firefighters, honor those in uniform who serve us, whether civil or military, offering discounts and special perks to those dedicated people. They also support local nonprofits such as the 9/11 Memorial Run, Hands-On Children's Museum, Seattle Hops and Props Museum, and the Nisqually Land Trust. And the award for the 2014 New Business of the Year goes to Miss Muffets Mystical Cupcakes.
My name is Rachel Young, and I'm the owner of Miss Muffets Mystical Cupcakes in Olympia, Washington. In 2011, I was a stay-at-home mom, and I'd never baked in my life, but for some reason I got inspired to start baking. I started baking almost every single day. Sometimes I would stay up all night baking. I started researching different recipes, and I basically taught myself how to bake all different kinds of cake. And when I got so obsessed with it that I literally couldn't think about anything but cupcakes, I began planning a menu, and I started building a website.
I'm Victoria Cunningham, and I am my daughter Rachel's, hopefully she would say right-hand person, but I assist in running Miss Muffets Mystical Cupcakes. We actually have 3 locations now. The first one, of course, is downtown across from Olympia Farmers Market. This is where the kitchen is, and this is where all the magic happens. Then in October of 2014, we had the opportunity to open at Capitol Mall. We have a great location there. And then just recently, a couple of months ago, opened on Joint Base Lewis McChord. So that's exciting, as well as selling cupcakes in Centralia at Picasso Brothers Cafe.
Our cupcakes are different. They're not as sweet. The frosting is very light and fluffy. We bake everything from scratch. We use absolutely no mixes. We use real butter. We don't use margarine or shortening. We have gluten-free cupcakes that are really delicious.
Our gluten-free they're so amazing that we actually have customers drive for miles, and then they'll buy a dozen at a time and take them home and freeze them because they're so delicious.
When I went to Los Angeles to film the Cupcake Wars episode, it was really exhilarating. I was nervous, but mostly I was excited.
I will never forget when Rachel called me and said, "Mom, guess what? The producers of Cupcake Wars just called and we're going on." And I was like, oh, golly gee.
I remember just having the time of my life. My mom and I, we didn't argue at all the whole trip. It was a 5-day trip. We had so much fun.
But the actual filming and taping, it was really high pressure. She handled it amazingly, but with cameras in your face the whole time and producers yelling at you and saying you gotta talk, and you're just trying to remember the recipe, right? And get the cupcakes out of the oven without burning them, and the whole time they're yelling, 5 more minutes, and you're like, oh my gosh, we gotta have these done. So it was pretty intense.
Rachel Muffet is who I'm named after, and she is the inspiration behind my cupcake business. She owned her own cafe in the 1950s in Hillsboro, Texas. She used to bake jelly-filled cupcakes for her family and friends and customers before cupcakes were even trendy. So she's one of the reasons why I decided to start this business, and she inspired everything that it stands for.
I can remember as a little girl her baking her jelly-filled cupcakes, and she never would even frost them because all of her grandkids and family would be there eating them when they were still warm out of the oven. And she was so significant in my life, kind, generous, loving, compassionate, not only to her family but to everyone around her. And so I wanted a daughter to be named after her, and to see Rachel grow up and do something like this with that same kind of heart.
My philosophy is that baking is about love, and I put my heart and soul into these recipes to provide something for people that will be special for all of their milestones in their lives, like their birthdays, their baby showers, their weddings, everything like that. The cupcakes are really, really special, and everyone that makes them here loves what they do.